NATO chief on Ukraine war. Be prepared for bad news.
Here's a summary of the article.
NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg warned there could be bad news coming out about Ukraine, as fears grow of a stalemate with Russia and allies such as the US debate whether to send more aid to the country. Wars develop in phases. We have to support Ukraine in both good and bad times. We should also be prepared for bad news, Stoltenberg said in an interview with German broadcaster ARD on Saturday, according to Politico Europe. The NATO chief also urged allies to continue sending support to Ukraine in the interview. The more we support the Ukraine, the faster the war will end, he said. Stoltenberg's comments come just as the White House issued a warning Monday saying it will run out of funds to provide weapons to Ukraine in its fight against Russia without congressional action by the end of the year. Additional aid for Ukraine has hit a wall in the House, while Senate Republicans are looking to tie support for Kyiv with border security changes. The Biden administration outlined a roughly $106 billion national security supplemental funding request in October that included money for Israel in its war against the militant group Hamas and Ukraine.
This post received a score of 8,100, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg warned there could be bad news coming out about Ukraine, as fears grow of a stalemate with Russia and allies such as the US debate whether to send more aid to the country. We have to support Ukraine in both good and bad times, but we have to be prepared for bad news, Stoltenberg said in an interview with German broadcaster ARD on Saturday, according to Politico Europe. Stoltenberg's comments come as the White House issued a warning Monday saying it will run out of funds to provide weapons to Ukraine without congressional action by the end of the year.
That's because Ukraine is running out of weapons or weapons shipments are being delayed by the West for various reasons.
It's also because Republicans have been blocking funding and holding it hostage. A lot of them running etc. want to stop supporting because Russia ending a democratic country is apparently a good thing. IMO if we don't support Ukraine the US military budget should be 1/10 of what it presently is. WTF do we have a military spending money if we are letting our biggest enemies rape and pillage?
To keep you and all other average Americans poor. Had to add the S, forgot I was on Reddit when I posted this.
But sending weapons to Ukraine and replenishing them from U.S. arms manufacturers provides jobs, and props these U.S. companies. The subset of Republicans who don't want to oppose Putin just admire him, and share his values about the decadence and wokeism of the West.
Wait, so we're rooting for the military-industrial complex now? Removes anti-war flags from war.
We root for it when we're helping defending a democratic nation from fascists. We don't root for it if it's used under false pretenses like destroying weapons of mass destruction when it's really about securing oil interests overseas.
Nuance? Sir, this is a Reddit.
WTF did you call me?
How much of this bad news is a self-fulfilling prophecy?
The issue is much more that a lot of people were way too optimistic about Ukraine's short-term chances. People kept pretending that Russia was still as incapable as they were at the beginning of the war.
I saw people say there was no logical reason the summer offensives of this year would be any less effective than the Kherson counter-offensive back in spring. Rather poor prediction in hindsight. And I think that's the core issue. People are expecting Ukraine to smash Russia like it's Desert Storm 2.0, but that's just not the case, and IMO was never going to be the case.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.